This video is sponsored by PCBWay, so before we get started, let's thank them for supporting us. If you're not familiar with PCBWay, their goal is to be the most professional PCB manufacturer for prototyping and low-volume production work in the world. New customers get a $5 bonus on their first order. Thank you, PCBWay! So my wife bought this really cool house down on the lake, and it has one what I would call a flaw, although a lot of people might call it a big plus, and that is that the cell phone signal down here is really terrible. And so we have this big outdoor seating area along with this double-decker dock, and there is no Wi-Fi when we're down there. And so for a couple of things, can't get phone calls, text messages, those types of things. We want to install some security cameras on the dock itself. And so to solve that problem today, we're going to put a couple of NanoBeams up. We're going to put a NanoBeam up on the back of the house and a NanoBeam up on the dock, and we're going to shoot gigabit Wi-Fi from the house to the dock. And we're going to start that process today by installing a big bird. We're going to start that process today by installing a waterproof electronics housing on the underside of the dock to hold our power over Ethernet switches and things like that, and we'll have to wire in 110 volts to get that power. So let's start with that. So I found this really cool box on Amazon that has this mesh backing that allows you to screw things down to it. This makes it perfect for installing switches, PoE injectors, and other components. I started by drilling a hole and installing an electrical box so that we can power everything. This way the high voltage will stay contained. I then installed a couple of screws to mount a Ubiquiti 8-port PoE switch. This will power a Unifi access point and a couple of cameras. I installed a power brick using some super sticky Velcro tape and then placed it on the rear wall of the box. And with that, it's time to head down to the dock. I tried to find a location on the dock that would protect the box from being hit by people or equipment while also being sort of central. This spot at the end of the bridge seemed perfect. I screwed the box into the underside of the subfloor using the 4 integrated mounting locations provided. Next up, we need to get electrical over here. I pulled power from an existing box that powered the lights and outlets around the dock, routing it to the new box through flexible watertight conduit. Every 18 inches or so, I strapped the conduit to the deck railing. I then installed the other end of the conduit into the electrical outlet. I used glue and water sealer at both ends. I then pulled the wire from the existing box through the conduit and installed a 120 volt outlet that will power our gear. Now, Ubiquiti uses 24 volt passive PoE on their AirMax gear, so I installed a 24 volt passive PoE injector in the box to handle that. We can just plug the injector into any non-PoE port on the switch. And now it's time to install the NanoBeams.
Nano.
N. Give me a big O. O.
What's that spell?
Nano.
Wrong. Nano.
Oh, that's right, the NanoBeams. The NanoBeams have a really simple mount that just screws into the deck. I drilled a hole just below the mount and tucked the Ethernet cable out of view on the back side. The NanoBeam then screws onto the mount, forming a ball hinge that can then be adjusted to point in any direction. I then neatly attached the Ethernet cable on the back side of the upper deck using some cable clips and self-tapping screws. The other end of the cable plugs into the output side of the passive PoE injector. Using the same mount, I installed the other NanoBeam on the house and pointed it towards the dock. The Ethernet cable runs through the attic and connects to my main Unifi switch inside the house. I decided to mount the Unifi access point for the dock right onto the lid of the box. The box was already centrally located. This meant no wires to run and easy maintenance. The AP just plugs into any PoE port on the dock switch. With that, I got to work mounting one of the dock security cameras. I wanted this camera to have a good view of the lower dock area and where the boat sits. Axis outdoor cameras provide this nice grommet to make their housing watertight where the Ethernet enters. People always ask me which camera they should buy, and I always say Axis. Then they say they are too expensive. They are also built like tanks and last forever. They also seem to never crash or require reboots. So, there's my answer. I ran the Ethernet cable right next to the NanoBeam cable and plugged it into a PoE port on the dock switch. Okay, so just to recap. We have power that runs to our network box, and from there we have cabling that runs over to the NanoBeam. And then finally we have a security camera overlooking the lower dock. A quick speed test shows our wireless capacity is about 300 megabits. This makes all of our devices quite happy. Okay, so we need something to record all of this video to, and Synology was nice enough to send me over a DS1621 Plus for this purpose. If you've seen my other videos, then you know I'm a huge fan of their gear and have them at my home and at the Geek Pub studio building. Since I also plan to use the Synology for some offsite backups, I installed 3 10TB Iron Wolf Pro drives. I plugged the UPS into the Synology using a USB connection. Connected the Ethernet and power, and then turned it on. Once booted up, the first thing I wanted to do was enable UPS control in the power settings. This will enable the Synology to shut down cleanly during an extended power outage. The next thing I did was go to the package manager and install Surveillance Station. This is the app that will record video from our cameras. I dropped Surveillance Station on the desktop and then opened it up. I entered all of the information for the dock camera and then clicked test just to make sure it worked. And moving over to the live view, we can see the video feed from the camera is now being recorded. We're in business. Okay, so a little update from the editing room floor. I originally intended to put 5 cameras up at the lake house. So 2 at the dock pointing opposite directions, along with 3 on the eaves of the house. And due to supply chain constraints, I just can't get them. I just cannot get the cameras. I've waited for over a month and I've got one of them during that time. And so I'm going to go ahead and release the video today with just the one camera. And we'll come back and do a part 2. I've got some other really cool stuff that I want to do down at the dock and with the surveillance station and Synologies. And if you haven't seen my video, by the way, on VPN between friends and family, you should totally check that out. I have VPNs nailed up using pfSense and OpenVPN between here and the lake house, between here and my studio building, as well as between me and my brother. And so that wide area network, if you will, gives us a lot of options to do some really cool things, such as my surveillance station command center that I have running. And so we'll do a second video on that, along with some other ideas I have for the networks down at the dock. Having Wi-Fi down here actually opens up a couple of more opportunities for me. So the first one is I really want to get Z-Wave extended down here. And so all I have to do now is in the box add another Habitat in mesh mode, and I can bring my Z-Wave and Zigbee devices down here. That means I can put all of the dock equipment and lighting on Z-Wave. The second thing is all of our yard is watered by water from the lake from a pump. And so because of that, the sprinkler controller is down here at the dock. And so now I can put in a ratio and have a completely automated sprinkler system as well. So we got a couple more advantages by having Wi-Fi down here that I hadn't thought of when I started this project. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. See you in the next one.